Evening all, Remarks here, back again with another video, back again with my promised VR180 behind the scenes Q&A video, because we have hit 10,000 subscribers. And I do say we because I think the involvement and engagement from you guys over the past year has been amazing. So this is a joint effort. I'd like to think I've done the majority of the work, but you guys being involved, liking, sharing, talking with me, commenting, has been amazing, and I couldn't have asked for better. And I'm so pleased that I've hit 10,000 subs. It was beyond what I kind of imagined. I literally started doing videos on a regular basis when the Oculus Go came out, so pretty much exactly a year ago. And within that time, I've got 10,000 of you guys signed up to get my content, which is amazing. And you're pretty active as well, which is great. So you're all kind of fresh subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me, watching me, sharing me, and doing all those sort of things with me over the last sort of 12 months. So thank you so much. Now, this is a behind the scenes VR180 video. So you'll probably be able to see, if you're watching this in your Oculus Go, you should be able to see this in 3D. So you should be able to see, this is a VR180 camera. This is the Insta360 Evo camera. I've done a big, massive hour-long review on this camera. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave links down below to that. But it films in 3D. So you should be able to look all around. So you can look up, down, left, right, choose where you want to look. You can look at me if you want to. That's fine. Have a look what's on the table, have a look what's behind me. But I've hopefully put a few things around for you to kind of look at while we're doing this video. I have put this green screen up here just to kind of cover a little bit of a mess. It's by my window, you don't need to see that, but you can pretty much look and sort of see my entire setup. So in this video, as a thank you to you guys, I wanted to kind of give you a sort of behind the scenes look at my setup. What do I use? Why do I use it? That sort of thing. And I asked you on my YouTube community tab. So if you didn't know, on YouTube, you can go to a profile, you can click on the community tab of that profile, and you can sort of see news and sort of posts that people make regardless of sort of outside the video sort of thing. So I posted it there. You asked me a load of questions, so I'm kind of go through as many of them as I can, kind of quick fire style. I won't sort of spend a massive amount on too many because there was quite a lot. But the green screen here, I might put something up on it, I might not. It depends in post whether that works quite well or not. We'll see. But either way, we'll flash them up somewhere so you can sort of see who's asking what and that sort of thing. Give you a quick tour of my area here. This is the camera I film all my videos on, where you see my face, inside that is. So this is the Sony AX53 camera. It's 4K with the Rode Video microphone on it. So that plugs straight into there. And then what I do is I use the HDMI out. So here, usually plugged into the camera, into my PC over here. And it plugs straight in via a cam link. So here's a cam link here. So it's like a USB device that you plug your HDMI cable in, and then that feeds in. So when I do videos, I record them straight into XSplit. So it's a bit like OBS. I use XSplit mainly because it was I got a good deal on it ages ago, and I think I've got a lifetime membership of it now, so why not use it? And it works quite well for me. And the same goes for my Oculus Go. So when I record it, I plug it in with a wire into my PC, and I use something called ADB. Links down below to sort of details on what that is. That's used to kind of help you sort of sideload stuff, but you can also kind of mirror the stuff that's on your Oculus Go. So I use that, I feed it all into XSplit, and then I sort of have it all set up. So when I record, there's no real kind of editing involved when I come to edit it. I literally kind of, when it comes to editing, I chop bits out that I don't want, stick it all together, add the top, the tail, the sort of intro and the outro, and that's pretty much about it. And everything else is kind of done straight into there. So I don't sort of composite, you know, the Go screen and my screen together. It's all done into XSplit and recorded in one go. So let me know if you want to kind of video on that in particular, and maybe I'll do that in the future. But for now, that's kind of how I film my videos. So this is my area here. There's my PC over there. That is my 8K video editing PC, because it's got a 16-core AMD Threadripper CPU in it, along with a RTX 2080 Ti graphics card and 64 gigs of RAM. So it's a pretty beefy baby. It's got some lights on the front. I couldn't tell you what kind of make the case is, but it does the job, and even that system struggles to play VR180 or 360 VR 8K footage. So because it's so beefy, and to record that, so my day job is sort of VR sort of 360 kind of guy, is with this camera here. So this is my business camera. It's the Insta360 Pro 2 camera. It films in 8K 360, so sees all around, 8K stereoscopic, so 3D. So it's got 6 lenses on the outside. It films essentially 3 sets of eyes in it in 3 different directions, stitches it all together, makes an amazing picture quality, an amazingly detailed thing. And that's my sort of pride and joy camera. It's silly expensive, it's about $5 grand, but that's kind of my baby. I look after this thing. This, you know, I've got 2 kids, but this is my baby as well. It's my 3rd child, so we look after that. We've got the iPhone here, just so you can kind of see this is what's recorded in there. So if you want to kind of look at something else, it's there. What else setup have I got? My mouse. What is this? Logitech G603. My keyboard is a Logitech G13. Both of them are super clicky. So if you're doing stuff on video, I don't recommend you use them because they're super loud. Everyone always complains that they make so much clicky noises and click this and click that. So I don't recommend them for that. But personally, when I'm using them sort of day to day, I really like them. They're really sort of good quality stuff, and they're wireless as well. So I like them. I like to kind of avoid wires where I can. What else we got? I've put a few of my sort of Funko Pops down there. I've got a load of Funko Pops here. Literally, I started collecting probably about a year ago as well, Funko Pops, and they just keep growing, and I've got even more. My go-to headset these days is probably this set up here, which is the HyperX Cloud Flight headset. So the wireless headset, really cool. USB goes into your PC, and then it wirelessly does it over to there. Anything else? I've got an Oculus Rift that's down here, but I don't have space to keep it set up. So what you can't see is behind the camera is my sofa's been pulled into the middle of the living room to make room for this green screen, and there's a whole ton of mess. So you're not going to see all that. I don't want to show you all my mess, but that's that. If you look behind me now, so the sort of smoke and mirrors of my entire setup this is the corner of my living room. So this on here isn't real brick. I don't know if you ever thought it was real brick, but it's actually kind of like spongy sort of stick-on bricks. So that's just on that bit of wall there, and there's nothing behind the wall on that behind the sort of shelving there. A couple of posters there that are kind of hung up on sort of perspex screens. And then you've got a curtain rail that runs across there, which the intention originally was to run some sort of green screen around that, so I could pull and sort of get out a green screen instantly whenever I wanted it in this corner. But instead I thought that was more effort than it's worth. I stuck this up instead and filled these shelves with all my Funko Pops. I thought makes a more interesting background, doesn't it? And should add some interesting depth to this video, I think. So let me know what you think. This stand here, I don't know if you're kind of interested in the stand. The reason why I've got these stands here rather than a normal tripod is, for the most part, doing VR stuff, you want to kind of hide the tripod. With that camera, when you're filming with it and it looks down, you don't want to kind of see this big, massive tripod. So I use these ones instead because it makes it so much easier to make the footprint on the floor so much smaller that when I sort of come to edit it, I can easily sort of mask it out and hide the tripod. I can almost hide those feet without the camera even seeing them in the first place. So it makes my life a lot easier by using those. Hence why it's just a pole. But I use it because once again, it's kind of easy to put in and out. But they are quite expensive. I think it's like 150, 160 pounds something for this large VR pole. But it's awesome. It's Manfrotto, it's cool. And same with the Manfrotto VR base as well. With the ball head base, so you can kind of level off the shots. Because when you're doing stereo stuff, you want to keep it as level and as flat as you can. Same for this camera as well. You want to keep it level as much as you can. I mean, they are quite smart, these Insta cameras. They do kind of figure it out, but ideally you want to keep it as level as you can. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink. We're going to make this probably all one take. I do like sort of Pepsi Max type stuff. That actually is Tesco's own brand version of Pepsi Max, but I don't mind that either. I just don't tend to drink sort of full fat, full sugar drinks because I kind of think, this doesn't appeal to me to drink like a cup of sugar. Blech. But I do like the taste of it, so yeah, that's kind of my compromise. It's one of my vices. And what else have we got here? Oh, the microphone that I've got at the moment. This is the microphone that I use when I'm outdoors. So whenever you see me with this camera, I've probably got this microphone on. It's the little Instamic camera, the Instamic microphone. I'll leave a link to it down below. I think it was on like a Kickstarter and stuff, but it's cool. It's like a little self-contained microphone, records to itself. It records dual mono audio as well if you want, so one higher sort of decibel and one lower. So if you're peaking, you can kind of switch between the tracks. It's quite cool. Comes with you can buy a little sort of fluffy sort of wind jammer for it as well. So if you ever see sort of a little black fluffy thing on my top, it's this thing. If I was recording with this camera, I would use sort of either the shotgun mic or have some sort of packs that feed the audio straight into the camera so it records straight into there. But as I say, when I'm recording inside here in the house, I feed it straight into PC, audio, everything. So there's minimal sort of syncing and editing and frame rate issues or anything like that. It's all gone. It's all straight into XSplit. It exports one file with it all in. Makes my life a lot easier. As I say, this is a smart little device, so I'll leave this down below. But I have ordered the Rode Wireless Go mic kit, which comes with a little sort of transmitter pack that you can put on your camera, and then one that actually has like a little microphone on it, on the little pack itself, that you can kind of clip to your shirt, and it becomes a wireless microphone, which I think that could be quite good to use with the Quest and stuff. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But I think that pretty much does it. But let's jump into, that's what, probably like 10 minutes of me chatting there. But let's jump into the questions then. Dank Memes says, why is your name Ramarcus? Well, I used to play a video game back in the day called Phantasy Star Online. It was on the Dreamcast. It was probably the best game I've ever played in my entire life, and I have some of the fondest memories of it. So one of the character classes in it was called a Ramar. My name's Mark. I thought Ramark was quite good, but then I thought Ramarcus sounded a bit better, so became Ramarcus. And it's been Ramarcus ever since for the last sort of, I don't know, what, 15 years? If you search online for Ramarcus, it's pretty much going to be me. Rob Howard says, what game in VR have you put the most amount of playtime hours into? Now, I do have a Rift. I have played the Rift a fair lot. I would say probably on the Rift, the game I've probably played the most is Beat Saber, because when I get this Rift out, I've got to set all the sensors up, and it's a bit of a ball ache, and I just kind of play the kind of the quick games rather than spending any sort of massive amount of time into it. On the Oculus Go, for example, I would probably say I play the most, probably Wander, which is not so much of a game, but it's a bit like Google Earth, where you can kind of fly around the world, have a look at different places, and because it kind of links into my kind of day job, I could be in there for hours. I'm fascinated by it. What else we've got? Do you prefer the new touch controllers shipping with the Quest and Rift S, or do you prefer the Valve Knuckles? Asked Nonglak Rodwell. I've not tried either, so I can't say for sure. What I will say is the new sort of Quest Rift S controllers are essentially touch controllers that come with the Rift, but with the ring turned the other way up. So I've never had any issues with them. I think they work quite well, and I'm really, always been responsive and kind of know where the buttons are and intuitive to use. So I don't know, the Valve Knuckles should be interesting, but I've not tried myself, so I can't say for sure. Gabriel Gaming says, will you still make videos about the Go when the Quest comes out? Absolutely. I don't intend to drop the Go. If anything, I'll do a lot of sort of comparison videos between the two, help you guys decide whether you want to upgrade from the Go to the Quest, because in a sense it is an upgrade, but not everybody needs that upgrade. And I do have some videos that kind of compare the two already, but once I get my hands on them, I'll do a deeper dive on them, sort of thing. And I intend to still do the latest releases and that sort of thing. And if anything new cool comes up, any developers out there have got stuff going on, they want to kind of share it with me, share it with you guys, let me know, and I'll still feature on this channel. So yeah, absolutely stay tuned for more Oculus Go content. How do you feel about the channel Virtual Reality Oasis? Says Ryan Clawson. I'm not sure whether you think we clash or something. He does look a bit like me, I look a bit like him. Both sort of middle-aged guys with beards and receding hairlines. But yeah, absolutely quality guy. Seems like a really nice guy. We do chat occasionally. He's definitely kind of an inspiration for me. He was somebody I looked and watched before I started my channel. And yeah, seems like a really nice guy, and he kind of is killing it at the moment. So the guy is an absolute sort of legend. And yeah, so yeah, I really like the guy, and yeah, I don't know what the thought behind that question is, but yeah, I've got all kinds of respect for Mike. Congratulations, mate. Did you use VR before the Go? Asked Slick Wine. Yes, I have a Rift. As I say, played that a little bit, and I also had like Gear VR and Cardboard. Do you think you should sell your Go to get an upgrade to the Quest? Says Paco Airsoft. Maybe. I do have some videos comparing the two. It depends what you want. Depends if you'll get the extra use out of what the extra $200 or pounds will get you. If you're happy with your Go and it does all you want it to do, why upgrade? If I guess it's not really going to give you anything. But if you do kind of want those PC VR experiences, not necessarily the graphics, mind, bear that in mind, but the experiences, those two controls, that sort of 6 degrees of freedom, yeah, it's absolutely a consideration. I think it's going to be a big game changer, so I'm looking forward to the Quest coming out. Aside from the Quest, if you could have any VR headset, which would it be? Asked Joe Vitali. Probably, for me, I'm sort of very much into sort of the Oculus marketplace sort of ecosystem. So I guess the Rift S would probably be the next kind of headset I'd probably look for. Just kind of complete the trifecta, but I do have the Rift, so do I need it? Do any other headsets stand out to me? Not really. I mean, would I like to have the headsets? Sure, absolutely. I'd love to have all the different headsets and be able to use them and do all sorts of stuff with them. But will I get anything more from it from getting those different headsets? It's a bit like having a PlayStation and an Xbox. Now, they've all got kind of individual things on them that make them what they are, but is it worth spending the same again to get the other one as well if one of them does, if they all kind of do 90% the same thing? Probably not. So at the moment, all the Rift ones. How much do you think the price of the Go will drop when the Quest comes out? Says the Boss Willis, Wills even. I don't think it will drop at all. I think they're competitively priced amongst themselves. The Oculus Go is already great value for money. I think we'll still see the occasional sale where it'll drop by $50 or whatever in the future, but I think the price that it's at the moment, we won't see the price drop on it until we get Go 2, for example. But then even then, I think that'll come out at the same price and it'll just kind of replace it rather than sort of, you know, maybe sell off that stock. But we'll sort of see. But I don't think it'll go down in price. Do you have the 32 or the 64 gig version of the Oculus Go? Says Alex Guy. Do I feel limited by the amount of space you'll get? And is the Quest 64 gig enough? I have the 64 gig Oculus Go because I do put a lot of apps on there. As you'll probably know from watching my channel, I review every single app and game that comes out on it. So I need the space, I need it. And the same goes for the Quest. I'm going to get the biggest version of the Quest. So if it's the 128 gig, which we know, and that's going to be £500, I'm going to get that one because I intend to hopefully be able to review as many things as I can, and I'm going to need the space. But whether you need that or not, it depends on how much you're going to use it. Hopefully we get sort of cloud saves and that sort of thing, which enables us to kind of remove games and put them back on again at will. But you'd obviously have to re-download them. Can people understand what you're saying in real life? Says Enchantrad Esque. Yes, they do. I mean, I do mumble. It has almost become a meme, a thing of itself in the start. When I say evening all, people don't understand me. But it's almost a thing of itself. That's how I talk. I can be quite kind of excitable when I talk, which probably makes it hard to understand. But yes, people do understand me. Gwiddy Cat Gaming, what's your opinion on the HTC Vive Cosmos? Interesting headset. The fact that you can connect it to a phone for sort of mobile, out and about VR gaming, and then to a PC when you get home. That's an interesting concept. Do I see it being competitive with, say, the Quest and that sort of thing? I think it's a different kind of headset. It's more kind of in competition with the sort of the Rift. But Vive stuff has always been very expensive. And when you get things that are half the price, personally, I can't justify buying it. Like the Vive, for example, it's double the price of a Rift, if not more. I can't justify that sort of price. So I think price would be key on that one. If they can keep it low, absolutely, I'll be interested to take a look. Are you secretly friends with another VR channel, says Jack Freeman? So kind of like I was saying about sort of my Virtual Reality Oasis, I do talk to a few VR channels. We're not sort of super secretive, super club, but there is kind of a group of us that do chat together. We kind of don't sort of strictly work with each other, as it were, but we're all friendly, all get on, all sort of sharing experiences. The guys have helped me with my channel, so when I've needed advice about certain things going on. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're a close-knit community, I'd say, and everyone seems to be really nice, which is really nice in this sort of way. Getting into this 10K, to find those kind of peers, as it were, to kind of bounce ideas off and stuff has been really valuable to me. Tips for, we missed one here. Jaffa Cake XL, what do you think of the film Ready Player One? Awesome film, awesome film. I do love it. If you haven't seen Ready Player One, absolutely take a look. Oh, we've got another one. Trouble Bubble Boyster says, what do you think about the Valve Index? It's going to be announced all soon in details, isn't it? Sounds like they're trying to get in before the Rift S comes out and the Quest. It'd be interesting to see what they're up to. Valve seem to be trying to spoil some parties here, so it'd be interesting to keep a look at. But yeah, I'm gonna keep my options open and take a look at that if I can. New Boss Media says, if you had to spend 1 week in Oculus Go non-stop, which app would it be? It would be Wonder, because I can travel the world, go look at different places, 360 degree. I can look at my own stuff, places I've been, that sort of stuff. Awesome, I'll do that, absolutely. Annoying Rain's Games, tips for starting a new YouTube channel. I think for me, 10,000 subs is awesome. I'm so proud of that. It's great, but you know, I'm still very much a small fish in a big, massive pond. But I think the key is find a niche. With me, it was mobile VR, so the Oculus Go really helped. I focused on it. I just did Oculus Go stuff, did the occasional other video sort of thing, but it kind of was my niche almost. There wasn't that many people doing it. People were doing bits of it, but not a lot of it like I was. So that's where my sort of audience has come from. I like to kind of introduce some more other stuff, and hopefully you guys will come with me on the ride as I do other stuff going forward. But I think you need to find that niche. Just do it. Just get out there, start doing it, put yourself in front of the camera, be your channel as well. I think kind of people kind of, even though maybe some can't understand me, they come to watch me do my video. So, you know, be your channel. Congratulations. And what has made you start YouTube, says Acceleration. I've always kind of been into YouTube as my kind of day job before I started my own company. I was editing videos and that sort of thing. Always wanted to do a YouTube channel, did the occasional video you'll see on my channel. If you look back sort of before this time last year, I was doing a few videos, just the odd one every now and again, every few weeks I might put one out, nothing kind of serious. And then once the Oculus Go came out, I cracked on and just did it, and it took off and gave me the motivation to keep doing it. So it's something I've always wanted to do. So it's been nice that it's taken off, and it's something I really enjoy doing. So Hail Wasim, how do you see the VR industry if Oculus Quest fails to live up to the hype? Just saying. Well, I don't think it will fail to live up to the hype. I think as long as people are realistic that it's a $400 standalone headset with mobile phone internals, I think some people, or a lot of people, will be massively impressed with it. They'll think it's amazing, and you know, I appreciate it, and I think I'll find it amazing as well. I think there probably will be some people maybe disappointed with the graphics, maybe because it won't be as good looking as the PC VR games, but that's the reason why there's still a Rift and a Rift S, because PC VR games, you know, they have £1,000, if not more, PC behind it, pushing the graphics and the quality of those games and apps and experiences. So be realistic, it's the experience, it's the two controllers, the moving of the headset, that 6 degrees of freedom, that's gonna be the experience. Focus on the experience rather than the graphics, and I think we'll have a great time with the Oculus Quest. Brock Peterson says, what are your thoughts on VR accessories such as VR treadmills, haptic suits, and the new Fearreal scent releasing accessory? So accessories, absolutely cool. I mean, if you look at Ready Player One, for example, the film, that sort of bodysuit that they had, the haptic suit, you could feel everything. You could feel her touching him and everything, wasn't it? That was pretty cool. So to have that sort of thing in VR would be awesome. Treadmills, yeah, I think they've got their place. I think if you've got the room for it, that's when it becomes something more than VR. Having the space for a treadmill or anything like that, I don't have the space. The average person probably doesn't have the space, but it's nice to have those options. And there are places out there where you go to arcades and stuff like that where they have those sort of things. Awesome. You can dive in deeper into VR. And the scent releasing accessory, maybe a bit of a novelty. I think kind of in the future, that's absolutely the future of VR. But I think day-to-day stuff at the moment, I think where do you get those capsules from? I imagine the stuff would be expensive. I don't know, I've not tried it. How much will it add to it? How will you customize it to your app and your game? We have to have special cartridges. I don't know the answers to those. I've not massively looked into it. But could be interesting, could be quite fun. Maybe for some relaxing things, or if like you sit next to a beach, you just kind of chill out, you can smell the waves, the beach and that sort of thing, the sand. That could be pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, it'd be great to see more accessories. When, if ever, will a game like Firewall Zero Hour be available on the Quest, says Dave Day? Well, I think it'll go for pretty much anything. Once the Quest comes out, once developers see how the sales are going, what sort of market there is there, what sort of interest there is there, that there's money to be made in the platform, then absolutely we'll see bigger, better, more in depth, other games from other VR platforms come to the platform, because you know everyone wants a piece of that money, a piece of that pie. And we'll see more and more of it. So yeah, I would imagine we will absolutely see sort of FPS type games come into the Quest, and it's kind of perfectly suited to it because it's got that sort of 6 degrees of freedom and it maps rooms, so you can actually walk further around. It could open up all sorts of sort of situations. So yeah, absolutely gonna see more. What I do intend to do is, now I've got 10,000 subs, is that I should get access to stories. So what I will hopefully want to do is do deal of the day. So if you go on the Oculus store at the moment for the Oculus Go, it does a deal of the day. I would like to put a story out every day where I take a screenshot of that deal, I post it to my story on YouTube and give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or a meh. And you then kind of get a good idea, or a reasonable idea, of whether it's worth for purchasing or just kind of ignoring in the sale price. So hopefully that comes soon. It doesn't come straight away, I have to kind of wait for it. So this person's got a load of questions here. So Chaotic Animation says, why do you like VR? Basically because it's immersive. Getting involved, feeling involved, just kind of getting away from stuff, and it just being that next level of experience for me is just awesome. That's why I like the day job that I've got with a 360 3D camera. Is, you know, for example, if I film a wedding, you can watch the wedding back as if you're a guest at that wedding. Not only in 360, but in 3D, and in such high quality that you feel like you're there. You're reliving that moment. It's awesome, and I can't sort of recommend this sort of stuff enough. Favorite VR games, we've kind of touched on that already. Least favorite VR games, probably that Splat game on the Cross Your Roads type thing on the Oculus Go. I'm not sure why I hate that so much, but it just does me in. Favorite non-VR game, we touched on that as well with regards to my name. So Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast was probably my favorite game of all time. It was a kind of online MMO, one of the first of its kind, especially on a console. And you could go on, play, chat with others. It was awesome. I loved it, and I just wish they'd bring more of them out, really. You'd never see me again if they brought out a proper one. They did bring out PSO2 to Japan only, and it never really got kind of brought over here properly or translated and stuff, so I never really got into it. But yeah, I'd love to see another one of those. And where do I think VR will be in 10 years' time? I think it'd be like the Matrix. We'd plug it into our head. Maybe not as kind of gruesome as that, and stabbing something into the back of your head, but something similar. Oculus Quest, Rift or Go, you're also asking. I've done a video on that. Essentially, there are different headsets for different people, so whichever headset works best for you, go for that one. Graphics Monkey is asking, if you're not doing VR videos and 360 3D photography, what would you be doing? Well, I worked for a bank for 16 years before I got made redundant, and then I started doing that, so I'd probably still be doing that. And did I enjoy doing it? Yeah, absolutely. It was the kind of job where I was still doing creative stuff. I was doing a creative role, but you know, this now I'm dedicated 100% to creative in a new medium. So it is fun. But you know, if I was still doing that, that was fine. It was a day job. It was bringing the money every month. I wasn't really complaining. Recently built a PC. Rob Howard is asking, should he get a Rift S or get the Quest? I mean, it depends. Whether you want that sort of top-end graphics and experiences, and your PC is capable of doing that, absolutely get the Rift S. But if you want to kind of be a bit more mobile, a bit more free, because I think not having that wire, especially like Beat Saber and whatever, you can get into it. You can just go go hell for leather, and just kind of get into the VR sort of without feeling sort of restricted. So I mean, it's up to you. So I'd say probably wait until they all come out and have a little look then. What do I think games on the Quest will cost? Asked Technic Frick. Will they be cost like Go, so $5 to $10, or do we think they'll be more like Rift, PSVR, sort of 20 to 30? Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll be the higher end than the lower end, so kind of expect that. Sponge Sonic 20 says, your channel got me through waiting for the Oculus Quest so far. You deserve it. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Carl Martin says, we think they Go help break boundaries for the Quest. Absolutely, yeah. It's sort of showcased, I guess, to not only consumers, but I guess shareholders and all sorts of things, that there's a future in the standalone VR, and there is. And I think that's how you're gonna make it mass market. You know, get the consoles, get the VR headsets into people's hands so they can start using them and experiencing them. Even though it's not the best with the graphics, it doesn't matter, it's the experience. 90% of people, your average person on the street, doesn't care about graphics. They play Face Your Fears and they think it's the most amazing thing in the world. And Face Your Fears is pretty cool, so you know, why not? You know, you just want people in there doing it. That's how you get it bigger, that's how you make it even better. A few other things. What's the longest amount of time I've spent in VR consecutive hours? Said Forgetto Burrito. I don't know, maybe sort of 7 or 8 hours maybe. I've done some long stints in the Oculus Go, to be fair, because I usually sit on the sofa with it plugged in, watching, doing something, whatever. Maybe that, I guess. I've not, with the Rift, I'm usually stood up, so it's not usually something I spend a lot of time in. Munches Make Believe Band Studios says, are you going to make your own VR game? That would be very interesting to watch and a milestone for you. I'd love to make my own VR game. I have no idea where to start. Absolutely, I'd love to make one, but as I say, I don't know where to start. But watch this space, you never know. Maybe I'll give it a go, maybe I'll look into it, I don't know. T Dark Wolf asks, how do you afford so many 360 cameras and headsets? Well, headsets wise, I only really have the Go and the Rift. 360 camera wise, I pretty much own all of them. All the consumer ones anyway. I'm a bit addicted to them. I want the kind of best, the highest quality. what I ideally would love is the Pro 2 camera, but half the size, because it's just, I wish it was portable. I wish I could just carry it around and just take it places, because the quality that comes out of the thing is amazing. I love it, but I can't just take it anywhere with me. I've got to kind of plan my journey, plan my filming, my photography, or whatever. I just wish it was a bit more sort of instantaneous, sort of a bit more sort of the moment. Soggy Grape asks, how are you so positive and happy all the time? Love your videos. Also, Oculus Quest hype train. Well, how am I so happy? I mean, I'm not happy all the time. Once the camera turns off, I go sulk in the corner and cry. No, I don't. But I think if you met me in real life, I'm a big introvert. I struggle to talk to strangers. I'm not the most confident and outgoing person, but stick me in this corner, stick me talking to you guys, and I feel like I'm talking to you guys are listening, and it just brings me out of my shell a little bit. I think doing these videos has been a bit of a therapy for me as well. Helped me with that sort of thing, made me a bit more confident sort of outside of stuff. Yeah, thank you for you guys for that as well. But as I say, I'm not sort of super high, super happy all the time. I just, you know, it's exciting to me. When I get excited and involved in something and I enjoy doing it, it's hard not to be happy about it. Can Oculus Go run 4K movies? Yes, it can. Ramendra Rivi. It can do 4K movies. For 4K video does work in the Oculus Go. You won't see a 4K video file because the video file, I guess, will be on a screen or something, and sort of condensed down to so many pixels. But it's always better to downscale from a high resolution than stretch from a lower resolution. So yeah, put them on, play them, go for it. I'm always putting 5.7K video files on my Oculus Go from these sort of cameras like we're filming here, and they work absolutely fine. And I think that's about it for questions. So hopefully that's kind of answered everything for everyone, and this has been interesting for you. So, you know, have another quick look around. I know it's probably a long video. We're probably talking close to, what, 40 minutes almost for this one. So you may be wanting to break this into chunks to watch it. It's a bit lengthy, a bit long, but I thought it's worth going out with a bit of a bang for 10,000 subs. So once again, thank you guys for supporting me, watching me, doing all that sort of good stuff and engaging with me. It's been amazing. Here's the next 10K. Here's to the Oculus Quest and all those sort of future headsets that we're gonna be looking at. Here's to VR of the future as well. I mean, VR, I think at the moment is taking off. It's going some good places. I can't wait for it. And hopefully I'm going to be there along for the journey as well. And hopefully you guys are going to come with me, keep watching me. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you've got any other questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'll stick around and obviously answer any questions down below. I do answer pretty much every single question that gets posted in all my videos. So if you've ever got a question about my video, make sure you do leave comments down below, because I do answer them. Thank you again, guys. You're amazing. You're remarkable. Make sure if you like this video, you give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. It's fine. I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it. But do let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like it. I'll try and do better for next time. Become one of the Remarkables. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified when I next upload a video. And that's me done. I'm out. Have a virtual VR180 high five. Ooh.